Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Why'd this guy faint?
Okay, so this is what he claims, and I think it is so preventable. So we were waiting in the area right at ticketing, and we had just been told to get off our flight that we were on because the plane was broken, okay? So this guy, he was sitting there and he was explaining to somebody, he's been fasting for some thing for his job. So he's like a nutritionist, but he wanted to try, what is it called? The Adam fast or something like that? You're into that stuff, right? What is it called? It's like a biblical fast.
I've never heard of that.
David, Adam, it's a guy's name.
Well, Adam was Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
So he was in the garden.
We didn't need him. But
was he only eating fruits or vegetables or what's
he was like not eating at all, and he was just drinking like ginger water.
Some people on extreme religious edges will do the Jesus was in the desert for 40 days, 40 nights, so they don't eat. They only drink.
This was an 8-day.
8 day. People can survive 8 days.
So I was eavesdropping like I normally do. And that's what he was saying. And we get up. She says, okay, now we're boarding zone 8. So we're standing there. And he is in front of us, goes down like a sack of potatoes, hits the ground, hits his head. He braces his hand, but his whole arm kind of gave out. You know, his whole body was. And then he hits his head. This woman comes running. We're going to talk about it next. Like how small of a community being a nurse is. But she comes up, puts his hands over his head, and she's like, are you diabetic? You know, because he was gray. He was gray, and he was sweating.
Responsive? Was he like kind of still awake?
He was just kind of staring straight ahead. Right. So I grabbed some juicy fruit gum and threw it in his mouth, and he started chewing on that because I didn't know. Like, is it does he?
I don't think you want to
sugar?
put something in their mouth, man.
It's gum. He's fine.
Until they chokes on it.
No. And then, like, airport medics, like, I got to give them props. They were there in like 20 seconds. They were waiting. I bet they were waiting all day.
They had the eyes on them.
Nothing was happening all day at the North Carolina airport. And they just haul it. They get there. They have him hooked up to all these wires, and then they tell him. So this guy has been in the airport all day, like, I don't know, probably 20 hours that day. And he's ready to go home. And they said, no, sir, you have to go to the hospital. So now he's probably still there in the hospital trying to get out of North Carolina, going to wherever he's got to go. And I was like, that is so preventable. And I remember him saying something like, God, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to get to the end of this whole thing because I'm going to have a huge burger. And I'm like, why did you put yourself through that? Now you can't fly. It was so preventable. But I've never seen anybody faint like that. It was kind of scary.
Yeah. What I've seen people faint the most is church. Yeah,
it's very hot. And all the up and downs.
My high school girlfriend was Catholic, and they would pack that church, and there was no air conditioning.
Yeah.
So, like, especially in the spring or when we get those warm days in the fall, she'd be like, "You gotta go to church with me and my family." I'm like, "Oh God, all right." Yeah. And for some reason, it's the up and the down and the kneeling and everything like that. I grew up Lutheran. I never saw a person faint in church.
Yeah.
But in the Catholic church, the few times that I've went, man, I've seen somebody go down almost every time.
Yeah. I did see someone faint at the finish line of a race in St. Paul. And I'm like, you just want attention.
Faint or exhaustion?
Because wouldn't you have fainted before that? You have to faint right at the finish line.
That's exhaustion.
You want that photo.
That's exhaustion. Yeah.
No, that's attention seeking right there.
Listen, you run one of those races, I think you can get all the attention you want, man. More than my fat ass is going to do.
Yeah,
KCLD Playhouse is powered up by Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices, seeking justice for the injured.
Crazy.
You just shoved a piece of juicy fruit in his mouth.
I did, and he did this with his face.
Yeah,
like, like I'm coming at him.
I think if you're a first responder or you work in the medical community, I'm pretty sure you can call and let Kat know how you endangered this man.
The St. Cloud VA Medical Center is hosting and holding a hiring event coming up on the 15th of November, 1 to 7 p.m. So this event is intended to lessen the number of screening requirements so they can start serving our veterans as quickly as possible. So if you'd like to be part of that change, you can take part in that. They need to hire 52,000 employees per year over the next 5 years to keep pace with the increased need for care.
They need to hire 250,000 employees in the next 5 5 years across the VA system.
Correct.
Holy balls.
We need to make sure that these people are taken care of.
Well, so what's
properly.
stopping? So then you gotta ask yourself, what's stopping people from working for them? Is it conditions? Is it salary? I mean, what stops somebody from working for the VA when they go to work for another hospital or another clinic?
No idea.
You know, that's where you probably got to start with this. And I'm sure everybody wants to help our veterans, and we're all grateful for it. But people got to put food on the table too. You know what I mean? If you're a civilian and you can make $10 an hour more somewhere else, you're probably going to take that job.
Yeah, understandable. We have Veterans Day coming up on Friday, by the way, and Wendy's is among many stores and food places that are offering freebies, not only week long, but day of as well. So if you have your military ID, show that you have served at participating locations. I have the link on my Facebook, and you can check that out, click on it, and plan your day out.
Or take out a veteran, you know what I mean? If mom and dad have served, you know, say, hey, guys, let's go do the rounds real quick. It'd be a good time to, you know, save a couple of bucks and show them you appreciate them.
Well, you city folks sure are late risers. I guess your rooster has the snooze button.
What day is today? Today is election day. What day is today?
Today it's election day.
Don't forget to get out and vote, everybody.
Get out and vote.
Election day.
It's election day.
Get to vote.
Come election day.
Let's vote.
It's showtime.
Election day, more commonly known around my house as, oh my God, all those commercials that run politically are going to be over today day.
I don't know why I thought leaving Minnesota to go to Florida would be better.
Oh, it's worse, I bet.
It was worse. It was
that's a more contested state.
every commercial. There wasn't a commercial for anything. Mattresses, food places, nothing. It was just candidates. So let's get it done. Don't just vote to vote. And I have a website you can go to. It's called isidewith.com. And if you go there, you can kind of see which candidates are the ones that, you know, side with how you feel.
I've
how
never
you vibe.
understood when people just vote along political lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't you want to know what that candidate stands for? You know what I mean? Like, how do you know they're not a baby Hitler?
Each person is not going to give you 100% of what you need, but what matters most is what you need to find in that person. More than 40 million Americans have already cast early ballots for today's midterm elections, so find a polling place near you. Okay, grow up. The Powerball drawing for last night was delayed due to technical difficulties to be this woman.
Because of a technical problem tonight, we are unable to bring you the Powerball drawing at this time.
Hold on.
As soon as
listen, you need to listen again. Here's how they try to make it not sound so bad. Listen to the jolly music in the background, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Because of a technical problem tonight, we
You're
are
not winning
unable
money.
to bring you the Powerball drawing at this time. As soon as we're able to resolve the issue and conduct the drawing, it will be available for viewing on Powerball.com and on our YouTube channel, Powerball 39.
I just refreshed and results are still pending.
Yeah, I know. 1.9 billion. You'd take away 929 million.
Now, they were saying yesterday, though, they came out and they said, listen, you're a fool if you take that money. They said 70% of the people that take the one lump sum are broke within 5 years.
Oh, wow. That's really
Can you
sad.
imagine? I was like, I couldn't imagine that. I mean, what if you win if you win $10 million and if that's what your take home is, right?
Yeah.
How do you spend that all in
I
5
got it
years?
spent already. 10 million.
I
Cool.
couldn't spend that. I was having an argument with somebody else the other day, and I'm like, you can't spend that money. They're like, watch me.
Yeah, sure you
How?
can. 10 million
How?
will go fast. All right, so I was looking for, tips and tricks for travel season. We have the holidays coming up. Maybe you really want to connect with people. We've been not able to for a few years, and now we can save some money.
There's such a mess at the airport, right? Because obviously there are still so many employees that haven't been hired, and they're still training and all of that. So our friends over at Expedia, they gave us these dates. These are the three to remember: the 21st, the 25th, and the 28th. Those are the best days to travel to avoid the crowds at the airport. So try to schedule it around there, and you'll have a little bit of an easier time. Right now is when you need to start buying these tickets, and this is backed up by data. Hopper tells us that just in the past week, the price has increased by 10%. It's going to peak somewhere around like $450. That's the average round-trip airfare. That's just an average, right? Yeah. You're going to have prices that are way higher.
My wife and I are going to go, I think, next Monday and finally get our TSA pre-check stuff done.
Oh, sure.
And just because we got a lot of travel here in the next 6 months. But here's what's going to happen is when we travel next month, is it wrong as a parent to buzz through the pre-checks and leave your 3 kids in the regular line?
No.
And
Unless
just wait,
they do the work.
wait for them after security? Is that wrong to do?
No, this is what I would do.
chuck the deuce.
Chuck these up. You're on your own. I'll see you at the gate.
I mean, my
E4,
youngest
bye.
is 15. They should be able to get through that line by themselves, right? But
And if they don't, then they don't deserve to
But
go.
here's what's happened. I've raised 3 pretty stupid kids, and they're going to be the ones that pet the dog.
I know.
Make a bomb joke,
Yep.
something like that. You know what I mean?
I
And next
don't have
thing
anything in my butt.
Radio Paparazzi.
Aaron Carter found dead on Saturday. He was struggling with addiction. They found a lot of huffing compressed air cans in his bedroom, a lot of prescription pills. And here he is on the show, The Doctors, and they were even unable to help him.
We haven't really talked about the huffing.
Right. No,
that's something that
I've kept secret from the whole world until now. I lied to you. Started when I was about 16. My sister Leslie, who passed away from an overdose, got me into it. Didn't really touch it until I was about 23, right after I did Dancing with the Stars. And then I started going to Staples and Office Depot and different places, buying it with cash so it wouldn't be reported on receipts or anything like that.
Yeah, tough stuff. I have some more audio coming up next hour. And it was when he went Instagram Live just days before he died.
Is this right? While he was doing this, his fiance was chiming in, telling him how concerned he was.
Yeah,
she was.
Yeah, and that's why she left him, because he was an addict and not willing to help himself. But Rihanna, she has been announced that she's going to be, Super Bowl halftime show. This is going to be one sexy show. But yeah, she's excited just to get out of the house.
Being a new mom, nothing would have gotten me out the house if it wasn't a challenge like that. It was now or never, for sure. You could get real comfortable being at home.
I'm not leaving the house unless I get to do the Super Bowl halftime show. You got it.
Yep, arms crossed, stomping on the ground. You got it, girl. I cannot wait for her to do Rude Boy. I mean, dang, it's going to take it to the next level.
And don't text us about how you want a country music artist to do it.
Yeah, we get it.
No.
All right. An actor, as an actor, Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, she's always looking for the next role to, take her talent to the next level. And she wants to be Britney Spears.
I think her story, first of all, resonates with me. Just growing up in the public eye, watching her videos, watching interviews of her when she was younger, I see the scramble for words and I don't know her, but when I look at pictures of her, I feel like I could tell her story in the right way and hers only.
I think she'd be all right in that
There
role.
you go. Britney, by the way, came out this past weekend that she has an incurable nerve damage situation on the right side of her body.
From performing?
It must be, or touring and just the wear and tear on her body.
Say what it was called?
No, but she on her Instagram is always posting those dance videos from the foyer of her house, where she's spinning around and whipping
Almost
her
naked,
hair.
yeah.
But she says when she dances, it alleviates that pain. So that's why she does it all the time. She's dancing constantly and staying in great shape because she is in such pain. Blowing out their candles today, we have Miss Bonnie Raitt turning 73. Parker Posey, I love her, 54. And Jack Osborne is 37.
Ellen Griswold is back from vacation.
Yeah. I think it could have been a movie. Our entire trip. If I sat down and really wrote down all the crazy things that happened.
Give me the highlight. Give me the stupidest thing that happened to you guys. Like the one that you look back and you're like, cripes, we're dumb.
The stupidest thing was it was me forgetting my debit card at 4 different spots.
Oh, you walked away after you gave it to the cashier?
Yes, that is so out of my character. I don't know what happened to me. I had, and you're going to make fun of me, I had my passport holder that goes around my neck.
God,
I know you hate
people
it. But
are the actual heels of society.
I show up at the airport one time. We're going to Cancun, and JJ looks at me, dead in my soul, and he says, "Take that off now."
I can't be seen. If anyone from my family were to ever wear one of these, I would disassociate with them. I won't sit next to you. I won't walk next to you. If you came up and gave me a cup of coffee out of the goodness of your heart, I would not accept it if you were wearing one of those holders around your neck for your passport and for all your stuff. I will clown you till my last breath.
I'll clown myself because it didn't help anything. I had all of our passports in there. I had my IDs. I had credit cards. I had a health card just in case something happened. I had all this stuff all in one spot close to my heart. But I still left it at 4 different locations. The guys were starting to get sick of they're like, who are you?
How far away did you get before you'd have to circle back? Was it always a couple of blocks or a couple of miles? Or
I think
was it
the furthest was, we drove, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes away. And then we get to the hotel and I needed it for something else. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot it at the crab oil place, which was awesome too. It's called the Juicy Crab, and celebs come there. There's a wall of pictures.
See anybody?
Juicy J.
Shut up.
Don't know if you've
The rapper?
of Ray J. Ray J's been
They
there.
were there. No, when you were there.
Oh, no.
I had pictures on the wall, man.
No. All the Real Housewives, they've been there. But yeah, it was an amazing dinner. Oh, my God. It was something that Liam and I saw on TikTok, and I didn't know if he was going to jive with the seafood, but he ate the entire crab leg. You know how mad I was with that whole situation? I'm like, he didn't even save me any. And now he's addicted to crab. What an expensive thing.
That was worse things.
You know what I got to do at the airport in North Carolina is I went to the currency exchange, and I've been carrying around that Turkish lira, $10,000.
What'd that get you? How much is that?
$486.
No way.
Yeah.
Where did you get the Turkish lira?
Oh, no.
Was it your dad? Did your dad give it to you?
No, my grandparents did. I shouldn't have said that because I think they're listening.
So they
But
were.
they gave it to me as like they're world travelers, and they gave it to me 25 years ago. It's still in circulation. But I did. There's another form of currency, which is from India, which is out of currency.
Well, no, your grandparents would be happy for you that you made $500 off. What do you think?
No, now they want the money, probably.
What do you think they paid for that?
I don't know. Obviously, currency.
I'm hoping they paid like $3 for it, and now it was worth $500 for you. You carried around 100 Turkish lira for 25 years.
Yeah, well, Liam found it in my keepsake box, and he was like, "What's this stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, let's go check it out." So we go to this little white bus, and it says currency exchange, and he goes, "I almost don't have enough to cover it, but I have $486 on Google last month, though. It was like $530.
He just gave you what he had.
So maybe
you probably got shortchanged a little bit. So you're gonna.
But I was like, oh, that's a couple of days of like our dinners and lunches and drinks and stuff like that.
That's cool. That's a cool find.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then one thing that makes me mad is like everywhere we go, Derek is never happy with the food he orders. By the way, like nobody else orders for him.
Give me an example.
So we go to Margaritaville and we sit down. And I ordered just a cute little appetizer, whatever. We're going to go on with our day at Universal Studios. Liam gets the boneless chicken wings. Derek decides to order something called the Volcano Nachos, which
this sounds awesome.
In his defense, should have verbiage next to it on the menu, will feed 9 grown men, because it took 2 people to carry it out on a tray.
Shut up.
You didn't see the picture on my Snapchat?
It took 2 people?
But one thing that really irks him about nachos is that they will have a pile of chips and just dress it up on the outside. They don't do a chip to condiment ratio, which really gets him, and you know it would. So he expected the inside to be filled with goodies like
That's
cheese.
Unrealistic expectations.
That's what I think too. I think nachos, of course, are going to save money on cheese and guac and sour cream and just put it on the top. And so he orders it. He ate an eighth. And then he was mad at everybody else all day. All day. He brought it up. And he was just like, I'm just sick to my stomach about how much that was. It was like almost $20. It was over $20.
God, you're on vacation. You guys got to let loose a little bit. I understand.
I let loose. We spent too much money on food. It was like crazy.
Complain about $20 for nachos. I would expect that.
Yeah. And now I'm waiting for a ticket from the expressway on I-4 West, because Derek's like, no, curve to the left. I'm like, no, I-4. We go this way. He goes, GPS is bringing us this way, brings us on the expressway. So all we see are cameras taking pictures of our rental car. And I talked to Enterprise yesterday. She goes, yeah, it'll probably be about $15, which isn't that big of a deal.
It'll take a while. We got, when the kids were down for the World Series, we had done the same thing, and I was busting ass down the freeway. And I noticed that I went through one of the tolls without the little ticket thing on the window. And we got back home. I think it was a $45 ticket.
I'm like, I feel like Enterprise should cover it because I'm out of state. I don't know these rules. How would I ever know these
rules? Your responsibility.
And then our Uber drivers, we got a great one out the gate. Like one that just, he's from Montreal. He used to hear our show up there. I didn't even tell you that. And then now he lives in Orlando and he drives every day. We only had 2 out of the 10 that were awesome. Like the other ones didn't talk to us.
Some guys just kind of grouchy. They're just going to get you to one place to another. They've been having a rough gig.
Yeah, didn't crack a smile. One guy talked to his wife, I think sexy talk.
Oh, but in another language?
Yeah. But I was like, okay, whatever.
So give me the best, the highlight, the key moment you'll remember. You're 95. Your health is fading fast, but you will remember what about this trip?
I think just all of the laughs. We laughed all the the time.
Did you laugh at funny things, or that's what I was going to say? You laughed at you made fun of people behind their back.
Situations, yeah.
That's what I like about you guys. My wife has gotten to the point now where she's like, she doesn't really like making fun of people anymore. Yeah. I go, I don't know if we're compatible. We might have to get a divorce. Florida, that's all I do. That's 90% of what I. That's I think cancer made her appreciate life. I think it did, man. I'm grateful that she's still alive and with us and stuff.
Absolutely.
But she's got this new outlook on life. Like, you got to be nice to people and you got to be appreciative of stuff. And I'm
She'll go back to her.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, right? Once she gets this in the rearview mirror a little ways, she'll come back to my way of thinking. Where
it's still pretty fresh.
Most people are laughable. Yeah. Good for you guys.
Yeah, Florida people are just odd, man. They're odd. And then the further you get, like by the wetlands and stuff.
It's a whole different society.
Yeah.
You can't reckon it.
Radio Paparazzi.
Aaron Carter, he was on Instagram Live, and it was just days before his death, and he was interacting with his fans and his baby mama and ex-fiance, Melanie.
When all I did was protect that girl. All I did.
She's texting.
Oh, now she says, I don't care anymore, blah, 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 blah. I'm not... Leave me alone, Melanie. God, dude, can't you take a hint? She just told me that you're going to die.
Yeah.
Oofta.
Wow.
So it was probably frustration. She's got a baby with him, and she just wants him to get better for the kid and himself. And that's what happened.
Being in that spot where, like, you want somebody to get help, you want them to be healthy, you want them to be around for their kiddo, and they refuse to, or if they just can't, that's got to be so frustrating.
Addiction is a tough thing, man. Unless you're not addicted to something, your brain turns on you and doesn't want you to get better. Rihanna, she is talking about the halftime show. Give us some details, girl.
I want to incorporate a lot of culture. I want to incorporate different aspects of entertainment and things that I just enjoy and bring it to the stage. You know what? I want to celebrate the music that I've made.
You know what her culture brought us was those infomercials of the Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to see more of that incorporated. I mean, that's the culture, right?
She is going to be so hot. I need her on a Panther for Rude Boy.
I can only imagine the Karens that are going to start complaining already. Like, if you thought J-Lo was too sexy, dial it back. Find something else to do for 20 minutes during halftime.
Yeah, stay off your socials because it's going to be a hot one. All right, so a few months ago, Snoop Dogg's blunt roller. He is a professional blunt roller. This guy has a salary.
What a job.
And his name is Renegade Piranha. And don't even ask me how to spell it because it's crazy. But
got some silent G's in there and stuff.
Yeah, he implied that Snoop smokes between 75 and 150 joints a day. And Snoop Dogg's like, come on, Peter Pan.
Said I smoke 450 dollars. This is all in a day's work. Stop lying. I'm gonna smoke all that weed in one day. What am I, a machine? This is the roaches. See? Roaches.
Like 9 of them in front of him, but still. 9 J's a day, man.
Yeah, but now the 75 to 150.
But still, 9 joints a day is a lot of weed.
Yeah. Is Renegade out of there now? Because he was talking about Snoop behind his back.
Sounds like he's been with him for years.
How do you get that job now? Do they post it, like ghost post it? Like how your wife works?
Right, where they just meet me at the mall. It might be a job you'd like kind of thing.
Blowing out their candles today. Parker Posey, such a funny lady, 54. Tara Reid is 47. And Jack Osborne, who, wow, talk about like a Hollywood flip. He used to be into the pills. Now he ghost hunts. Have you ever watched his show on the Travel Channel? It's so good. It's really good. He catches like real stuff.
I'm sure they caught a lot of ghosts, didn't they?
He's 37. All right. So I told that story about that guy that fainted. The woman rushed to his defense. What am I trying? Aid. There we go. And she puts his arms
over vocabulary.
To his vocabulary and learned to talk, but put his hands over his head. She knew what to do. I didn't know that. And then we were sitting there, and behind me were 2 nurses from Alexandria that were there for a day and a half. They got there the day before at 11 a.m. And
they've been sitting at the airport for 36 hours.
Airports are messed up right now. There's like no staffing. Planes are broken. Pets' heads are falling off. It's just one thing after the other. I do have to say there was a lot to do at the North Carolina airport. There were a lot of shops. There were a lot of restaurants.
That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you to buy a bunch of stuff, is they got to keep you there longer. Imagine if the Mall of America kept you stranded in there for 36 hours.
They had suites that you could rent. You could rent little rooms with TVs and nice beds.
That'd be money well spent, I think.
Yeah, I think so. If you had to, because they were talking about how they have like these lines of white rocking chairs, and like if you score one, you're good for the day because they're so comfortable. There were probably like 50, and then one person would like start to get up, but then quickly sit down
That's
again.
what I would do. I would stand out. I would stand up,
you
I'd
would.
stretch, and then I'd sit back down.
Like we were trying to find 3 in a row. Never happened. Liam was like, had his eye on it the whole time, but they were like, yeah, we slept on the ground under these trees that were there, and they had live trees in the atrium area. And so like these nuts were falling on their head as they were trying to sleep. and I'm like, God, you were there for a while. But the way that they were conversing, they had never met each other. And then other nurses from around the waiting area started to converge. And like the things that they were talking about, like, oh, what part of the ICU are you in? Oh, I'm in NICU. I'm this. And oh, wow, you have a lot going on. Where do you guys dispatch to? And all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, what other career can you sit there and like find that sense of community? You know what I mean? Like nurses have a lot to talk about. They're very angry at the people that decided to stay at home. I'm going to be honest, like for the pandemic, they're very angry at those people because they're like, you can't come in at night, put a mask on and take the garbage out or make the beds or and do stuff like that, you know, to help us out a little bit.
The medical community is probably the most bonded community as far as like having a job. I think that's fair.
Wow.
You know, cops, I guess, are probably tighter than nurses.
Yeah.
I think anytime you put your life on the line, I mean, I'm not saying nurses didn't, especially during the pandemic, but on a regular day, if you're going in as a nurse, you're probably not putting your life on the line. You're helping to save lives. So there's a bond there.
Yeah. Do you have and one thing they said was like, you know what really ticked me off is that we would get videos from the people that were working at home. Like, you got this, fam. Here's to another great day. We're all in this together.
Bitching about that.
And they were like, do not send me another video unless you're willing to help at all. You're not helping us.
I'm surprised that this far out they're still complaining about that.
Well, they were just talking about back in the day. I mean, they were reminiscing, but I was like, that's a big sense of
Do you think truckers have a sense of community?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Do they?
They probably talk in their CB lingo
I don't
all
know
the
if
time.
they still do that, do they?
Sure they do.
Like if they find a greasy, if they're going to stop at a truck stop,
yeah,
are they all like, "Hey Jim, hey Fred, how you doing? Oh man, I was taking this load through Peoria."
Yeah,
and I mean, do they, or is that? I mean, because I think nurses would always have a common, you know. Let's do this real quick. What's your job and what's your sense of community? So, what would you say our sense of community from like a 1 to 10 is with other radio people?
You know, I can sniff one out. It's an amazing ability.
It is
I
very
can find
weird.
one.
We'll be walking through the airport and Kat will go, "That guy's been in radio." I'm like, "How would you even know?" And then then this guy will be like, "Yeah, 15 years ago I did radio."
Yeah,
it's
I'm
very
in
weird.
Philly right now, 2 to 6. You know, and so what about your field of work brings you together with somebody else? Like,
what is ours? Alcohol?
No, probably celebrities who meet.
Oh,
hey, how many celebrities come through your
That is
town?
so stupid. We'll go to
Like,
these conventions
I
and
don't
we'll do,
care.
Hey, who's in your Rolodex? Who's in your phone? I'm like, I don't know.
It's always when someone dies is when they post pictures with Aaron Carter or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's me with Heavy D 14 years ago before he passed.
I've had really good encounters with celebrities, but then also a lot have let us down.
I
you
quit
know,
caring. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
I did. I just quit caring.
I would rather give meet and greets to our listeners than to go myself because it's a person and they're going to take a picture with you. I'd rather have our listeners have that experience.
Okay, so what's the common bond between you and the other people in your profession? Would you like to share it? I'd love to hear from you. So as you're sitting there waiting for your flight for 20 hours, you overhear a couple of nurses talking about how disgusted they are on the people that did not come into work during the pandemic. Huh?
That was just one of the parts of the conversation, but they were just talking about, how much they love their job, how challenging it is in a great way. But then all these other nurses started to, there was like a beacon that went up, like a bat sign.
Signal.
And they were like, we're talking about nursing stuff over here. Come on over. And so there was a huge group, probably like 15 of them. And they were all talking about, of course, things that they would change. If they were in charge, they would do this. And, I think every profession has that conversation. But I was like, wow, what a sense of community with these nurses.
With radio people, our sense of community is when we all know 1 or 2 or 3 people in this business that have become slimy, jerk douchebags that you'd never want to work with or for or around again.
Yeah.
And everybody has a story about them. I remember we were at a radio convention once and I had mentioned the name of a general manager that I had, and this chick was strung out when she was our boss.
Yeah.
She was doing coke on her desk visibly.
That was old school radio,
like
though.
lines of cocaine during the day.
Yeah.
And then she'd get all hopped up and walk around. She'd have all these great ideas, and then she'd want to tell you all about them. And then about 4 o'clock, she'd crash, and then she'd leave, and she was going to get another fix. And like
That's
you
really
bring up her name, and everybody had a story about this woman because she worked all over the place.
Yeah.
So like, what's your gig? What's your sense of community? Hi, Ms. Marie.
Hello.
Hey, can you tell us what you do for a living?
Good morning. I'm a teacher.
Okay.
But I work in a school with the students that have like high behavioral and emotional needs.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the staff where I work is incredibly tight knit because we go through the trenches of these behaviors every day, and it can be very extreme. And we're pretty nice.
Are there a lot of things that can be done at home that aren't being done at home? There are a lot of parents that they'll say, this isn't the card I thought I would be dealt when I wanted to have a baby. I didn't expect a child with special needs or anything like that. So they just leave everything up to you guys. That would be really frustrating.
I would say, and to any parents out there, like, be a team player.
Yeah.
We're here to help support you and your kids. And also, like, just don't be afraid to get help if your kid needs it. I know a lot of parents shy away from wanting to, receive services from, doctors and things like that. But it would be helpful, yes.
I don't want to downplay what a soldier does because I know there's really no equivalent of going out and protecting our freedom and getting shot. But what your job is, you guys are bound by trauma. And whether or not you want to admit it, like every day is a traumatic situation because it's not what we, would consider, right down the middle and really normal. So there's a certain level of trauma that happens every day. So I understand the bond. It's the same, I think, as cops, as soldiers. Like when you go through traumatic events with somebody, like then that's your boy, that's your girl. That's like somebody who understands what you're dealing with. Yeah. So you find a level of cognicy with them.
I would go as far as to say you work in a hostile work environment, and it is out of their control, sadly. If somebody has special needs,
right,
it's out of their control. And some people get super angry with them. And those people weed themselves out. It's the great ones that stay like you and your coworkers. So I want to say thank you on behalf of all the parents out there that have kids with special needs. That's a big deal to send them off every day to know that they're being taken care of in that way.
Well, you're welcome. And I enjoy listening to the show every morning on my way here.
This show? This show.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, that's very surprising.
Sure.
Hey, how much longer can you see yourself doing something like this? Because, this has to take a strain, right?
I think the average burnout rate for my field is 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm currently on year 4.
Okay.
Do you feel like you're burning out?
Sometimes, but, I'm really passionate about this. And I went back to school and graduated at like 40 to go into this line of work. And I have a background of working with people with, mental health issues. And
yeah, this is your calling. You should be doing this then. Obviously you've thought this through.
I do love it, but
does the district does the district offer you any therapy or anything? Like we get like 6 free therapy sessions through work or something like that. But like just as an option to go and vent a little bit?
I don't know, but I really do think that would be something beneficial for people, especially that work in a setting like mine.
Yeah.
Well,
I would pay for that as a taxpayer. I would pay for that.
Listening to the show isn't doing you any favors. You understand that, right?
Oh, it makes her feel so much better. What are you talking about?
Hey, thanks for sharing with us.
I usually laugh on my way to work.
Oh, good.
We appreciate you. I hope you have a great day today.
Thanks, you too.
That girl's doing the Lord's work,
there
man.
You go. So many teachers texting in, oh my gosh, they're just talking about, crazy kids that they have, and that brings them together. But this one is from, I'll call her Ms. V from Elk River. She says, I'm a parole officer who works strictly with sex offenders. All of us in this line, we're very connected because we deal with things and people that no one else can understand. And I don't even expect you to understand that, Vicky. I don't understand people that can think a
Way to
certain
not say
way.
your name.
Oh, sorry. That can think a certain way about children.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
I think, again, bound by trauma. Like,
Yeah.
even though it's not a physical trauma, there's a traumatic event. I mean, it's not normal to the brain, so it deals with it in a traumatic way, and you're bound by that. Like, that's a common link between you guys.
I just don't think if you think that way about kids that you can change, to be honest.
You don't think those are forming somebody?
No, not about that stuff. That's the brain. And I think all you can do is constantly work on yourself and have an outlet and stay away from that stuff, because I just don't think the brain can switch off like that. Can you?
I don't
Do you
know.
think that way?
I guess I don't know enough about it. I would think more cases than not, I'd say yes. I think there's a reformation with mental and or physical things like that, but I wouldn't know where to start.
I think you could reform yourself and hopefully stop ever doing that and assaulting kids. But I don't think you can ever stop thinking.
I would find
like
it
that.
hard to believe that you couldn't find somebody that had those thoughts at one point and went through some kind of reformation and found a way out of it and didn't have them anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if cure is the right word, but I'd be interested to see what kind of stats, that are on that. I'm sure we have enough research.
A lot of massage therapists too, talking about what turns on their clients. I need those stories. Well, wow, what a moment. Caught on camera, an ESPN announcer named Marty Smith broke the Guinness World Record for the longest cornhole throw as he was covering the contest for the longest cornhole throw.
Let's see the replay. Let's take it to the replay.
Boom.
Nothing bad.
Dumped it.
Marty just hit the longest cornhole shot. Wow. Marty, you're a world record holder.
He was so excited. 76 feet. And now somebody has to break that record.
But here's the thing. You have to have the Guinness people there. So this was a big event.
Yeah.
And they had the Guinness representative there.
Right.
And nobody was able to do it. And this ESPN reporter goes, give me a shot at it. And he fell ass backwards into be a Guinness World Record holder.
I may be out of the norm, but I hate cornhole. It's
Why?
horrible. And at your house, your cornhole, those are slippery. Those are like not regulation quality, because they're very hard to get it
And all
in.
that hand-eye coordination, I can understand.
What's your favorite lawn game? I love Polish golf. It is my favorite. Can I call it Polish golf?
No. Which is Polish golf to you?
It's like ladder.
Yeah,
ladder
so
ball.
that's ladder ball.
Yeah.
See, I like washers.
Okay, what's that?
You've never seen.
Is that where you bring it back? Beaver Island. has
No.
it, right?
Washers you have washers, but you have this board laid out a ways away from you, and it's got holes in it.
Yeah.
And you got to throw your washer into that.
I could get into that.
That one's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love large Jenga. That'll keep you on your toes.
Also, there's some like cool dice games that my brother-in-law, he made wooden dice in a bucket, and we play that every once in a while.
That's
but
cool.
I'm more into the just sitting and watching as I have a cocktail.
Yeah, I hate can jam. That's just
Can jam is good. I like that.
Nope.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, that's what's trending.
I'm very, very sad that we'll be done with political commercials on TV and on the radio for a while. I just need to express that feeling.
Same.
Number 2, nobody won $2 billion. We don't know even what the numbers are yet. 3, welcome back, Kat.
Thank you. I'm 3.
Wow.
I'm the 3rd.
In the things that give me joy, no more political ads.
Okay.
Huge amounts of money, and
then me.
You being back.
All right. Well,
So,
thanks.
an epic vacation, to say the least.
Yeah, it was a really good vacation. What we've tried to do every time we go to Florida is like do something different. We don't go back to Disney or anything like that. So we've done everything. If you ever have any questions,
No reasons to ever go back to Florida?
let me know. We really don't. We don't have one reason to go back to Florida, to be honest, unless it's at a key. Like I could do a Key West. I could do a Siesta Key.
Yeah.
We've never gone that far. But we did find a new place. It is such a cute, it's like, I forgot his name again. Margaritaville guy. Jimmy Buffett. It's like Jimmy Buffett designed a town. It's called New Smyrna, Florida. It is the shark bite capital of the world. Yet
Which in itself would keep most people from going.
you would think. And I told my 10-year-old, head on in, buddy. But I did. I kept an eye on the horizon for fins, even though they attack from below in pods. But either way, it was really awesome. Had a margarita on the beach. It was awesome. Gator tour. That was cool. Have you ever done an airboat?
No.
Oh my God. It just like hovers over the water and you feel like it's going to hit something any moment and you'll go flying.
Oh, it's like being in a regular boat with my Uncle John.
Maybe,
where
yeah.
you're just going so fast all the time, no matter what the depth is, you just feel like you might hit something.
And you just pray the whole time. But this one was awesome, and we saw some gators, and we saw a baby one, which was about 3 feet, and then we saw a grown one. Well, I shouldn't say grown. It was like a teenage one because they had an attitude, and it was like almost 6 feet.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, there's some
Those things
under
are
there.
Dinosaurs, man. They've been around since the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Our tour guide, he was so burly, huge, like manly hands, tan.
Missing any fingers?
Good looking guy. But then he sounded like Leslie Jordan.
No.
You know, he's like, what you're going to find is that they like to tan half their body and then keep the other half nice and cold. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is a caricature of himself. Went to Universal Studios. What else? And then just had a hell of a layover. I've never had that happen ever in my life, where we just sit at an airport for hours, 11 hours at the North Carolina airport. And my son was so cool about it. So I bought him a couple of Tar Heel t-shirts at the gift shop.
Had this happened once when we were in college. We had flown down to Florida for baseball, and we sat at the airport for 14 hours.
Damn. It was bad.
There was 42 of us.
Yeah.
And coaches in one. It was four. Yeah. I mean, it was the better because we were supposed to fly out at and this was an overnight though. And this is where guys got we're playing baseball in the airport.
Yep.
We're hitting ground balls to each other.
Oh my God,
rude.
rude.
I mean, there was nobody in there. It was overnight.
Okay.
Our flight was supposed to leave at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
It didn't leave the next morning till 11.
Yeah.
And so our coaches were like, just do whatever. We wore them down so bad. And then even the people that were at the airport, they're like, just be careful. I mean, we're hitting ground balls in the airport.
You know, the commodity plugs, wall plugs. Yeah. Everyone's like, Ma, I'm going to lose all my juice. I need my juice for the flight. We get on the flight. We're all set. Got the pad going. Got Liam's movie pulled up. He's all settled. And then we get the announcement. Yeah, folks, the plane is broken. And to add insult to injury, I'm really tired, and I only have an hour left of flying time this week. I was like, we were out of pilot in a plane.
When you mention that, people forget that pilots can only fly so much. It's like truckers, yeah.
So tired.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God. And he was like, just to let you know that it's a severe problem. And if we got up in the sky, we need to lose about 8,000 pounds right now to even make it 2 states away. I was like, oh my God, thank God somebody did their job though, right?
Yeah.
As pissed as I was like, okay, thank God somebody did their job.
You weren't sacrificing your 50-pound luggage.
No, I wasn't. But I saw half the plane got off. I go, that's got to be 8,000 pounds right there.
Let's just go.
Let's go.
Candace being caller number 10, by the way. All you have to do, is answer Kat's questions quickly. You have no time to Google the right answer. She'll rip out a question. You'll have 5 seconds to answer it. Do so correctly 3 times, you get $100. Do so correctly twice and use your lifeline from 1995, and you get $100. You ready to roll?
Yes.
All right, good luck, Candace. Here's your first question. It should be your easiest, but keep in mind that there is no time to Google.
All right, I'm hot off my trip near Disney, so name any Disney character.
Goofy.
That is correct. That's exactly right. You're right. You're totally right.
Candace, did you hear that Mickey and Minnie are getting a divorce?
Stop.
Goofy.
Oh,
yep, that's right. Question number 2. Question number 2.
Are you just looking around the room and saying
no time to Google?
I'm just looking at my man.
Yeah. All right. Which country invented gazpacho?
Greece is absolutely not right.
Just wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to get it.
Wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
It's got to be Italy, right?
It was Spain.
Spain? Oh, Spain. Oh.
I want people to find them somebody that they can have fun with at 8:20 in the morning, like you guys are having fun. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you've been doing.
This sounds like edibles for breakfast is what this sounds like to me. Yeah.
We sit here and listen to you every morning.
Oh,
thank you guys. That makes 6 listeners, and we're so happy. Thank you
put
so
an
much.
S on the end of you.
You got use guys.
Use guys.
1047 KCLD and Key of St. Cloud is free cash. Just be fast or you'll lose it all.
Miss Megan is caller number 10 today. At least this hour. Megan, if I remember correctly, when we said you're caller number 10, you were very excited because you've already done your civil duty. You went out and voted, right?
I did.
And
Who'd you vote for?
Stop.
Just kidding.
I heard the conversation. I'm talking.
Yeah.
Good.
Now
Good.
you said you work at an oral surgeon's office. I can only assume, and I'm sure you're held to a confidentiality situation, but you have seen some amazing, I'm really high after surgery coming out into the lobby to see my mom and dad stories.
It's pretty fun. It's not as crazy as everybody says, but sometimes it's pretty interesting.
Well-
I get to talk to a lot of fun people.
None of my siblings understand why I want to be there after my dad gets done with a colonoscopy. Because after that, it's funny because they have no control. They toot a bunch.
Yeah, but coming out of a colonoscopy is just, that's light sedation, right? Megan sees people that are still just completely zonked.
Yeah. What, you want my password for my
We do
bank
the
account?
same station, actually.
Oh, really?
We do the same one, so not quite as crazy, but still some fun.
Yeah, you just see the highlights on TikTok right now, right? You don't see one of those per day, do you?
No, not too much, no.
All right. Well,
So I know HIPAA exists, but do you just sometimes ignore it and talk about something?
You know, I can't really do that.
I want to know if I was spoken about after my last colonoscopy because you see everything. You see all of
once
it,
you-
and I bet they were like, "Oh, I thought it would look like this."
No.
When they come up to you at gigs and they're like, "Oh, I thought you'd be blonde," I feel like they'd be like, "Oh, I thought you'd look different back then."
Oh no, I think it's like a gynecologist, man. When you see one, you see them all.
That's not true.
I think it is.
Don't tell me that.
I think it is.
Mine looks like some other people's out there.
Okay, we're way off where
All
we
right,
want to
I
be
got
right
the
now.
envelope. Here we go.
Yeah, there's the envelope. Megan's like, this is not worth the amount of money I'm about to win.
We're gonna walk down the street today.
Somebody's gonna go, "Oh, I saw you at the gynecologist's office." All right, so there is a jackpot sitting in front of Kat. We know that it's somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000. Your objective with Key of St. Cloud and KCLD is to nail down that number before the clock go boom. We will not start the clock until you give us your first guess. Any questions after all that, Megan?
I'm ready to go, I think.
Best of luck from all of us here in the Playhouse. We will start the clock with your first guess. Good luck.
2,500.
Higher.
2,600.
Higher.
3,000.
Higher.
3,500.
Lower.
3,400.
Lower.
3,300.
Lower. Lower.
3,000.
Higher.
3,100.
Last guess
I
would have
sounded
been
like Medea there for a
lower.
second, but I meant
last guess
lower.
would have been 3,100. Close?
No, 3,019. I guess closer than 4,000.
All right. Listen, that might be our fault for talking all the gynecology stuff and
Had your head somewhere
and
else.
everybody
Sorry.
else being high at your office and stuff like that. So we're going to chalk that one up to let's just let the player play, and we'll give you another crack at it coming up here just after 8, okay?
Thanks so much.
Have a great day, Megan.
The KCLD Playhouse is powered up by Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices, seeking justice
You
for
don't
the
think
injured.
every gynecologist says that, though?
Mine does, and I get mad at her. That's why I've switched, because
You're like,
she said something like
you're
that.
like,
I was
I did all this prep for nothing?
Yeah. No. I spent a day and a half.
All this glitter hairspray I used for nothing?
to look pretty for you. And you're going to tell me I look like Karen that just left? I don't think so. Yeah, that makes me mad.
What if they tell you look like somebody a lot older? Would that be offensive? Well, you look like you're 60.
I don't know if people change how they look down there as they get older?
Gotta. The rest of the body does. You
I know
gotta.
guys do for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know about women.
Does your chain hang low?
God, you're getting up there, man. Your ears are going to start getting bigger. And things are going to start looking different.
I've had a lot more nose hair lately.
Yes, I know.
I got to trim that up. I look
It's like a party favor.
Hey, Siri, is Mercury in retrograde?
Yeah. Have you seen any of those meteor showers? We saw one on our way back from the airport.
No.
Love how reliable your phone
Well,
is.
because you
He's an
started
idiot.
talking. You started talking. So, but is it because I'm telling you, everything that could technically be off today
Yeah.
seems like it is.
So when we saw this meteor, Derek and I high-fived like we won something. It was so weird. We were driving.
What a life accomplishment.
It was so bright. We had gotten right past Becker, and it just flew over my car and then burned out. But we both like high-fived.
Sure,
like,
the guy in
yes!
front of you didn't like throw out a cigarette butt or something?
It was massive. And then we both made a wish, which, if this Powerball thing
Well, I'm
gets
still
handled,
alive, so.
I will be lucky.
Matt, did you see the meteor?
No, I see clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently Kat's so special, she sees right through them. So let's get to it. Your $100 trivia question this morning. About 1 in 3 of us over the course of the pandemic, Matt, bought something like this, and we no longer use it. Most of us consider it a waste of money. So about 1 in 3 of us bought what during the pandemic, but it no longer gets used. You got a guess for us?
Oh, man. Cough syrup.
Cough syrup. No, great guess. Actually, not even a good guess. That was just poor. I'm going to let you go because that was horrible.
That was kind of the worst part of the pandemic is like you would find out you had it and then there's nothing you can do about it.
You just got to wait it out.
It's like hand, foot, and mouth. Like they just tell you have it and then there's nothing you can do about it.
Hey, Wendy, 1 in 3 of us purchased something like this during the pandemic, but we now consider it a waste of money and no longer use it. What are we talking about?
Trying to think.
4-hour show. Take your time.
Just anything. Whatever.
I don't know.
Comes to mind.
Say butthole.
Say mask. Why is no one saying mask?
Oh, that is a good one. Actually, I'll go with that.
That's wrong.
She led you down the wrong path. All right, sorry. Have a great day, Wendy. You can't tell people to guess the wrong thing. Matt, number 2, 1 in 3 of us bought something like this during the pandemic. Now we consider it a waste of money and no longer use it. What are we talking about? Jesus. Matt.
I'm going to cry today.
I can't. I told you. I can't. Patty, I'm only going to take one more guess at this because you guys are failing me hard today. 1 in 3 of us bought something like this over the pandemic. It's now considered a waste of money and no longer used. What is it?
Patty.
Hello.
Oh my God, Patty.
Are you talking to me? How many Patties do you think we've got
around? In and out.
No, your phone is not.
Here's what I can tell you. With the amount of fiber optics that run into the studio, I can almost guarantee you we're not cutting in and out.
We're going to restart. Patty Cakes, the question is.
Oh, I'm supposed to do this. So 1 in 3 of us bought something like this during the pandemic. It is now considered to be a waste of money and no longer used. Get one guess. What is it?
Did somebody say mask?
No.
Yeah, somebody said.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Take one more guess, Patty, before I decide to drink all this cyanide.
All right. I bought a lot of clothes online on Amazon. And
no.
How about a generator? Oh, okay. That was my guess.
You know what I was going to say? One of those UV light boxes. Can you just tell us and we can move on with life?
Patty, where are you listening from? What city are you in?
St. Augusta.
That's it.
If I paid you $100, would you just come
but
down
I'm in
here?
a tin building.
Yeah, I know.
I'm in a tin building. I'm trying to stand by the door. It's cold.
All right, we'll go warm up. Thank you for calling.
How much would it cost for you to run over here and just kick me in the crotch and end all this right now?
I'll do.
Oh, my gosh. I wouldn't do that, no.
You would. All right. Bye,
Thanks,
Patty. Love you.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.